On all pages where the field is editable, style codes, various promotional codes, dates, and garment sizes require the use of pick lists. The only exceptions are the pant sizes, which are free-form entry. Little or no validation is done with these fields. The first page, or tab as they are sometimes called, consists of the details of the rental order. At the top is a very important field. It is the use date. This field is critical for the program as well as the business. It is not editable on this tab. You will need to go to the Dates, Locations, and Miscellaneous tab to change the date. You can change the use date on that tab, provided the use date has not passed. When it has passed, it is locked and cannot ever be changed. There may be times you will have to create a new order because of the date issue. When entering a use date, be careful you do not mistype the date to a past date. If that happens, you will not be able to change it. The locking of the use date is done for security reasons. If the customer changes his use date, it must be changed before the existing use date passes. Immediately below the use date, is a provision for event code. If you are not familiar with the event codes, package codes, or promo codes, see the videos relating to those promotional codes. Next are fields that accept the style codes for the various rental garments. To the right of fields that require sizes are fields that accept those sizes. Near the bottom are text boxes that accept the package code and promo code, if applicable. Next is a checkbox that allows for including or excluding a damage waiver, followed by another checkbox to indicate that the order is tax exempt. If the order is tax exempt, the field to its immediate right is for entering the federal identification number for tax exempt status. There are some special fields relating to the coat and pant. To the right of the size field for the coat is a text box that allows for entry of a plus or negative sign. This is to indicate as to whether the coat size could be adjusted up or down. At the far right of the pant row is a field labeled O/I, which is to indicate whether the pant length is measured as an outseam or inseam. Notice that the letters OB are to the right of some of the garment style codes. If you own a rental inventory and it is set up properly, the OB indicates that the garment style code and size, providing the item is a sized item, are overbooked for the use date. When you place your mouse cursor over the style code text box or size text box, you will be notified of the inventory status for the item. Note that the status shown in the tooltip text are as of the current date. When the order was placed, the item may have been noted as booked. However, if there were subsequent orders placed for the same item, and as a result, more were booked than are in the inventory, then the form will show the item as overbooked. In other words, the booking status is as of the date you view the data on the form. On the far right of the form are three tabs. The default tab is labeled List/Description, which means that the data on that particular tab discloses the rental list price and the description of the garment. The next tab labeled Vendors, is where you enter the third-party supplier code for each garment item that is being procured from a third-party supplier. To the right of the code text box is the name of the supplier. The third tab labeled Exceptions is only used where there is the communication capability to the supplier to indicate whether the particular garment is available or not. To the left of the garment code is a command button labeled Defaults. When this button is clicked, the default style codes that are assigned to the style code of the coat. The assigned codes will be automatically entered for those default accessories. Placing your mouse cursor over the command button will show the default style codes. See the video on styles and prices for more information. At the bottom of the form are 3 areas that are available regardless of which page is active on the form. There is an option to select either a 3.5-inch receipt or the standard 8.5-inch by 11-inch sheet. The next area is to indicate whether you wish to preview or print the customer receipt. If the preview checkbox is not selected, then you are able to indicate how many copies you wish to have printed. Finally, on the right is the message that will be displayed on the customer receipt. When setting up the store defaults, messages are created based on the type of transactions such as weddings, singles, or retail. The language used on this form is restricted to the single rental language. Providing the use date has not lapsed, you are free to modify all fields on this tab. Just insert your mouse cursor into the field to be edited. If the field used a pick list, you will have to right-click in the text box, or press the keyboard F2 button, or click the command button to the immediate right of the text box, and then select from the list. If you are entering a new order for the customer selected on the initial single form, click on the New Command button on the toolbar. That action will replace all the fields with blanks except the use date. You are then free to enter all data as previously described. When all the data is entered, be sure to click on the Save Command button on the toolbar.